Hello there. We hope that you're having a great weekend, and thank you very much for joining us on this other edition of The Diary. Well, when you fall in love and you are certain that you found the one, it is only natural to start thinking about your life together. And the first part of that future is getting engaged. So what should you know before you get engaged, and how long should you wait before you eventually tie the knot? That's what we're going to be discussing in this edition of The Diary. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Back. If you're just joining us, you're watching The Diary on STV, and today's subject is engagements. How long is too long? I've put together a very interesting group of persons to discuss this interesting subject, and it's now time for you to meet them. I'm going to begin with the lady. She's Tina Flo, the beautiful Tina Flo, and she's the CEO of Tina Shopping Sal. She deals with products on fitness and well-being. Hello, Tina. It's good to have you on The Diary.
Hello, Manda. How do you do?
I'm doing great, and even better now that you're here.
The pleasure is mine, sharing with you.
Great. Now, we've had two gentlemen that I'm happy to have again on the show. I'm going to start with Ainawale, who is sitting closest to me. He works with the Dangote Group. You already know that if you watch The Diary. And of course, he's a logistics expert. If you have any questions on logistics, this is the man to talk to. Hello, Wale. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back after COVID or within COVID. Good to be back. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll be able to do justice to the program.
And I'm really very excited to have Steve Fonkam. Welcome back home. Steve Fonkam, who is a radio and TV personality. He is the MC for every occasion. And very important that I add, he's a soon-to-be groom. Steve, welcome back.
Well, thank you so much, Mumah Manda. Thank you to the house, that's always ready to welcome me. And it feels good. It feels good to be home, you understand?
Yeah.
And I'd say hello to all those who are watching at the moment. I mean, I'm happy to be here. Hope we learned something today. Hope we share as well with you.
We've talked so much about the coronavirus and COVID-19. It's about time we talked about other things, okay? Life continues, which is why today we are discussing engagement. And like I said, the theme is how long is too long. I'm going to start with you, Ainawale. To you, who has been married for many years, who was engaged many, many years ago, what does engagement mean?
Well, engagement is the beginning of commitment. Because at the point of engagement, you have actually display yourself that I've moved beyond being your boyfriend. I have taken a step further towards saying, okay, I'm seeing a future with you. And engagement connotes a lot of things. It connotes your readiness. Yeah, you must have done your due diligence. Like a popular pastor says something in Nigeria, said, when if love is blind, marriage will open your eyes. So at that point, I think you must have seen enough of love. You must have probably moving towards, okay, I think we are compatible. You have seen that compatibility in the two of you. Then when you engage, or when you make up your mind, but I think engagement should be something you do out of your own conviction. Not that there's a gun on your head, your wife's family or your fiance's family will kill you, or under compulsion. You must be convinced that, okay, I think I'm taking the right step. I think that defines my own view about engagement.
And Steve, I saw you nodding to everything he was saying. You agree?
I agree to many things that he has said, because engagement it's a public and a solid manifestation of your desire to continue further with the person with whom you're in a relationship, or let me call it the way it's supposed to be called, the person with whom you're in a courtship.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just a way of telling the person, or reaffirming or reassuring the woman that, look here, don't look left or right. I'm telling you that I want to share my life with you. But I think engagement still has to come at a particular time, because it comes before you actually, decide to get married, together. And to me, and I've always asked that question, left to me alone, if I had to do things at my time or exactly when I wanted, I wouldn't have engaged my future wife. Because why do I want to tell her that I'm going to be with you when I can just seal the knot? You understand? Because what's the thing? Maybe engagement has become a norm because of the way the West look at it. But the most important thing is not even the engagement, is the wedding, is the marriage. When you have during courtship, when you guys have passed through the stages of courtship, and you think that stage is over, you get to marriage. But the engagement is just to say, okay, while we're waiting, while we're organizing for things to happen, just be rest assured.
Okay.
Yeah. Let nobody steal your heart, because a woman has something. She needs to be reassured all the time. She's an emotional being.
Yeah.
A man, if you tell him once that I love you, it's good for eternity. But a woman, you must you assure a woman every time, I love you, you're secured, you're safe, and I'm here to protect you.
Right. Now, Tina, for us women, it's like you said, it's emotional. Nowadays, it's a big deal for a woman to get engaged.
For me, to tell a lady that I love you, I want to marry you, for me, it doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Because the fact you say you are engaged, you assure her, I love you, we don't actually know. After 10 years, you can be still saying that I love you, but you will never tie the knot. So for me, I just like surprise. I don't like the fact you sing morning, afternoon, evening, you love me. I want to get married to you, because engagement is when you people are looking the same direction and you made up your mind to like multiply your own generation, to do something together, you see, to make your own family together. It's not something like 2 years, the guy is maybe in Europe, he keep telling you, maybe he was here, you people finish from the University of Boya, you people finish together, he keep telling you morning, afternoon, evening, baby, don't worry, I will marry you. Baby, don't worry, I love you. When he traveled 3 years after, even when he's still when he is with another new lady in Europe, he keep telling you that every day. You see.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, for me, engagement is good, but it's good to just you promise today, tomorrow maybe you put the ring today, maybe after 1 week you just tie the knot.
Okay, all right. Okay, complexities to engagement and how long it should last. We'll talk about that a little more in the course of the show. And thank you very much, Tina. You're making a lot of effort to speak English, and I really, really appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Now, we've talked about this a little, but I'd like for us to go into it a little more. The purpose of the engagement period, Wale, what should that time serve as? What purpose does it serve, the period during which a man and a woman are engaged?
No, the period of engagement, I think if we now break it down properly, marriage is about, okay, I see you, I love you. That one is let's put that as probably the first level. The second level is, okay, we are engaged. When we say we are engaged, apparently there's some discussion that must have gone under. Okay, we are engaged. What date are we looking for? Towards? What are the basic necessities we need for our wedding? What are the basic necessities? That is the time of definition. At the point of I love you, boyfriend, girlfriend, I think that point is at the point of probably we go to Rodo Ladua, go ETV, Rock Town. But by the time you move into a point of engaging, seriousness don't enter. At that point, you are serious. You are ready to start shouldering things like a man. He is ready to say, okay, you are leading, I am supporting. For instance, I might be living in a one-room apartment, a studio, right? Yes. But am I going to marry in a studio? Those are reasoning that we start drumming up after engagement. What type of house are we going to live in? what is our wedding going to look like? How concretized is your job and your career? How is life going to look like after wedding? That is the critical moment. Because if you go with what Kate said, Pam, we engage today, tomorrow we marry. After the marriage, the reality will stare on us. For instance, the eagerness of a woman can make us get married in 1 week. You will just say, okay.
The eagerness of a woman, okay. Okay.
Like Steve said, leave it to a man. He loves you and he can remain not going further. But it is the woman that will put pressure for things to happen in most cases. Now, but in the course of woman putting pressure for things to happen, as a man, you should cooperate to get the right things done. For instance, if you rush me to get married in a studio, we'll get married in a studio, 1 room, you and I. By the time we are giving birth, the responsibility is growing. To save money to say, okay, we're changing apartment might become a real issue.
Okay, let's just be clear. When he says studio, he means a room.
A room.
Okay.
A room, yeah.
It doesn't mean what we call here studio as in
yes.
a room and a parlor. Okay.
No, a room, a tiny living room,
Yeah.
a tiny kitchen, a tiny bedroom, bathroom that you can't even get a visitor. Your parents-in-law cannot visit. Even your junior sister cannot visit. So all those things, that is at the point of engagement. I think that is when the fundamental things need to be thought through.
Okay. Steve,
Okay,
you recently got engaged. Congratulations again.
Yes.
And do you feel that things have changed since your engagement to your fiancé as compared to before you got engaged? Do you feel that things have changed in the relationship?
Not really, because knowing someone is a process, and it doesn't follow the agenda of whether you get engaged, like the material, like I said, the visible gesture that confirms your sincerity does not come and take you to another level of knowledge of your spouse, or just say your future spouse. The thing is, it's a process. You understand? It's a process, and when the time comes for you to move to the next level, you will know, and especially when both of you are bonding, you guys are fusing. Let me use the word fusing, not bonding, because bonding in chemistry is like putting two elements together and they stick together. But when you put it under a particular temperature for a while, they can separate.
Right.
But now when you're fusing, is that even when those two elements are put together, they become one new element. And even you put under pressure, it's not going to share. So during the knowing process is the fusing process. So like I said, and it brings me back to my point that engagement, to me, on my personal reflection, I don't think engagement is really some important thing to an extent if you can tie the knot directly. Back in the days in our fathers, back in like 50 years, 70 years before, when you love a woman and you really think you found a wife in her, you go meet her parents and you concretize it, meaning that you go do the introductory ceremony, then you pay the dowry, and you proceed. Now, for those who believed in Christianity when it came and everything, after the traditional, they went to do their church wedding. After the traditional, they went to do their Islamic wedding. After, they went to do their religious wedding. You get it? So I think that it's just maybe I begin to feel that the engagement process is more of a trend today, but it was necessary for those who probably we're going through certain conditions. For example, this is COVID-19, for example. People can't marry the way they want to marry. They can't organize the reception, the marriage, the way they want to. If they want to say, okay, I don't want to do it with 50 people, I want to be patient. Maybe this end of year, we don't know, it depends on how COVID is going to, the confinement and COVID is going to be handled, or maybe next year, or maybe 2 years. They can say, okay, let's engage ourselves to prove that, or to put each and every one in, especially the woman, in a comfortable position that you have your husband already. So I'm not going anywhere. So we are taking this. It's not an oath, but it is
promise.
It's a promise. We are promising and we are committing ourselves to another level. And you can be rest assured. So a woman has to be reassured. If you don't take care of her, or maybe if you don't, you're not able, to feed sometimes her insecurity and transform it to security, another man will do it for you. And if she wants to go at that moment, she might leave you. Meantime, she has to be with you. So now, coming back to the part where they say engagement is when you're talking now serious things, or maybe begin to know your partner or choose whether you get to marry. I think that when you engage, you guys have already, and I join you on that, you've already spoken about your choices and about marriage and about your conviction about parenthood, because it's during courtship before you want to engage. That's why I say that engagement thing, if you take it off, what comes after courtship is going directly for the marriage. Because during courtship, you have to ask yourself all those questions, and there are many elements that come into play when it comes to choosing the right partner for life. Now you begin to talk about, there must be financial independence. There must be the desire to live and to cleave, because a man will leave his mother and his father to meet and to be one flesh with his wife. You might be ready. And what does that imply? Because first of all, it has now to, you guys have to talk about marriage, and you guys have to talk about marriage and put it in its right context. Because if you guys don't agree on the right context of marriage during courtship, I am telling you, don't get married. Because marriage is the straight door to hell and a straight door to heaven. He who finds a wife, a wife finds favor. Good wife, good marriage. Bad wife, bad marriage.
And husband too.
Yes, of course. Because
of course.
That's
Thank you very much for adding that.
Thank you for that, because many ladies, because I will talk from a Christian perspective, because I believe, like I was saying, during courtship, you start by talking about marriage, and then you have to put marriage in its right context. Marriage is first of all a divine concept. It is it's an institution by God. It's one of the only relationships that God has given us the possibility to choose by ourselves, with his help, of course, with his enabling, of course, but to choose by ourselves what's good for us. Even for those, when I get to the Christian context, where they talk about the Garden of Eden, the marriage, the first marriage, the garden wedding, was it was at creation, when God had to pull off the ribs of a man and made a woman out of it, and they are all equals. So the thing is, at that point in time, you guys discourse marriage according to how you perceive it, and you put in the right divine context so that it can orient you, because one put out of context, of course, if you believe a lie, you experience a lie.
Right. Now, Tina, you said you believe in the concept of engagement, but it should not be long at all. Now, I have read, I've seen stories or heard of stories where someone gets engaged to, I don't know, a man or woman. You engage to the person you're hoping to get married to, and during that period of engagement, they split up because, well, they say they think that they are not compatible or they will not work out. Now, if that were true and you skip to marriage a week after you get engaged, for example, would that not be problematic? Because later on you discover that something is not right. No,
I think before engagement, we cross the period that we call relationship. You people are always together, you share together. Before you tell the girl that I want to get married to you, I'm very sure you have been studying the girl and you believe that she's going to be the mother of your kids. Before you do that. But if it happens that maybe you people are just in the church, because it happened that you can meet your brother in the church, you people are following the same father, and at the end of the day, you see only the way she used to sing choir, or the way she used to like do her things. Maybe when she's praying, you feel that
You feel the fire.
Yes. So at the end, you decide that no, I have to get married to her. But you people are in the same church. You cannot do what they call date. You cannot date her. You can just only greet her every day, but you cannot invite her to your house. I'm talking about some churches that I know.
Some churches, eh?
Yes, so many of them. So when you want to invite her, she'll be afraid that if my papa pastor hear this, it's going to be somehow, So at the end, you have to go and talk to the pastor. Maybe you people have been there for about 2-3 years. You worship together. You always look the girl and you like her. When you engage, like today, maybe after 2 weeks, you program your wedding.
But you have had time to really know that person.
They have been in the church for 3 years. That's
doesn't mean you know somebody, though.
They're in the church.
Yes.
They're in the church. Does not really mean they know each other.
Yes.
One thing is, we need to be careful on this topic. I will share some experience. In most cases, peer group pressure too makes people to want to fast track things.
Absolutely.
Not looking at the rudiment of things. I have witnessed a marriage that lasted for 1 week.
One week.
Many. There are many. There are
Why
many
did you get
weddings.
married?
They got married because if the lady had checked it, she shouldn't have gotten married. Because all the expenses associated with the wedding, the guy was elusive. But unfortunately, all my contemporaries have gotten married.
Yeah.
The lady keep pushing on until I've witnessed wedding, invitation card, everything went out and the groom never surfaced.
Yeah.
The groom did not show up. Now, and apart from those two that I can associate with probably peer group pressure, you will discover that the basics for good wedding is not the money you spend on that day. It is what comfort are we likely to have after wedding. And those are reality talk that comes. You see, at the time you are my girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend, we may be living in fantasy land. But when we are engaged, if I'm lying to you that I have 12 trousers, now you can see me that, oh, this guy actually have 3. It's just interchanging his appearance to me. You understand? There is one particular joke that went viral some time ago. A lady was telling her husband that, I didn't know that you are this poor. And the guy replied that, when I was telling you, you are the only thing I have in heaven and on earth. Those are realities that now comes after engagement.
Yeah. I mean, talking about the decisions people make, you know, while before engagement and after, you know, they realize that we are in something we did not bargain for. It simply brings us back to one thing. People get married, they get engaged for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
And this can only be accounted by the fact that they did not have the right conversation during courtship. We still come back to that. You know, this thing is interlinked. It is so intertwined that you cannot separate one from the other. The process of courtship is very important. And like you talked about, you know, church kids and obviously, there is something we have to be able to accept. Today, we have the wrong people teaching marriage.
Yeah.
And the school, especially in church, you know, they give the wrong interpretation of marriage according to the Christian context.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you cannot understand the union that is which is marriage, or the sacrament of marriage, without understanding, you know, the life and the union of the Godhead, which is a triune person. Because the Bible itself states it. And Paul, the Apostle Paul, who received the gospel in its plenitude, explained that, you know, the marriage is just, and the husband and wife, that is a marriage, which gives birth to a family, right? Is actually compared to Christ and the church, the love between Christ and the church. Why do they use that reference? And that's the only human relationship that reflects the union with God. It means you have to look at that union, and it's from that model that you can be able to govern and carry out your mission, or fulfill the mission that God has given you as a husband and as parents, you know, on this earth through the mercy of the grace of God. Because people don't understand that this is a sacrament. And the problem with, you know, the failed systems today, the failed families today, is because marriage in the past like 50, 70, 100 years have been desacralized. It has been transformed into a civil contract between a man and a woman. Marriage is not a contract between a man and a woman. It's a covenant between 3 people. Between God, a man and a woman. And both men and women are coming to commit to an institution to keep the rules and incarnate the values. It's not about you loving each other because of love. If human love is the only base that you think will keep your marriage, it will fail, because human affections and emotions, you know, are temporary. There must be something beyond. And
so you're saying it is Should forget about getting married.
No, we should not forget about getting married. We should educate ourselves about what marriage is in the first place.
Sorry, I have. Okay. Ladies first.
Yes.
Sure, Tina, please.
Yeah, I want to say something because, like, today they talk about Android. Well, that whenever you have your daughter, if my daughter's supposed to show me the boyfriend before getting married. Me, for example, I have a daughter. I love her so much, but I cannot just allow my daughter to be going around. If one day like that, it happens that the Lord shows her the husband that is going to get married to her, a father can even make a choice. It happens. We have been seeing so many cases that the Lord bless their couple and they are succeeding. Like maybe a father just see me like this and say, no, that girl is going to marry my son. And is the father that is going to connect the son and the girl. And so many things move together. So for me, I cannot ask youth out there that you must study a man, like going into relationship like you go to his house, you date the man. No, you people can still be in the church, because once in a while, if I try to talk to him like, see a big head, I'm trying you to see the way you react. Only the way you react, I understand that this man, if you mash his toe, he's going to grab you, you know. So that time I will know. Tomorrow I will say, I like your hair. You see, just like that, you can study someone. The person must not come to your house. Even in school, that's what happened. Even in the classroom, that's what I think.
That's your opinion.
You know. Before giving it, see, there are so many things that are wrong, and we should start addressing them. One, if you start reading about marriage books written by either man or a woman, no marriage book will ever say the hill of their wedding. They present a picture of a perfect marriage.
Yes.
Meanwhile, when people read, they are carrying the mind of this is what that man is doing, what man A is doing, man B should be able to do, which we did not have equal capabilities. That is number one. No marriage book will tell you that my wife is this, my wife. Nobody is going to write anything about the husband or the wife. That is number one. Number two, the Bible is good, so wonderful scriptures. Most of us want to use Bible to cover our ineptitudeness. Number three, Apostle Paul that wrote vehemently about wedding and everything never got married. Number four, the Bible is not even fair to men when it comes to marriage. Because you see most guys, because ladies are pressed because of their societal pressure. All my contemporaries are getting married. They saw a guy, the guy did not have the financial wherewithal to get married. The only thing he has is his masculine look. And then, because you want to satisfy your ego now as a woman, that men are after me too.
Yeah.
You are ready to settle for just anything. Then you get married. I'm telling you, you do such. Such a man wants to engage you. And look, the first thing in marriage, or engagement, is that I love you. I do this. Okay. Let's see how it rolls, right?
Yeah.
And then, where do you work? What do you do?
No, please.
Okay.
I have something to say.
All right. Tina is really itching to say something.
Okay.
Go on, Tina.
Yes. See, for me, settling down is not about finances.
Okay.
It's not about money. I think it's about feeling. You can get married to a multi-milliardaire that will never make you happy.
Okay.
And it's not good to ask someone, where are you working? If me, I'm a lady, I'm working, then my money is my husband's money. And my husband's money also is my money.
Before we advance on that,
Before we continue, Tina, I like your point. Quick question to add. So if you're dating somebody, or you want to get married to somebody, so someone proposes to you, presuming, and the person cannot provide food, morning, afternoon, evening, cannot pay the bills, would you still say yes? Would you still go ahead? Because
No, the person is in your front.
Okay.
Now, how you will know that the person will not pay your house rent? You people are
you're supposed to know that before you agree.
Yes,
before you agree.
No, but when the person come, you try to see. For me, morally, if you are ready, and I just like people that they have sense, and I don't too much look about the physical. And I know if you carry the moral, then we can join our moral together and make money. That's me. I don't actually ask you where do you work financially, because he's trying to set a knot on that financial, and we all know that today in this our life, so many people they school but they don't have work.
Okay,
but if you have work, you can join with your guy, and you people make the.
All right.
There she's talking about. There she's talking about the things she considers before getting engaged with him.
Yeah.
I'll probably come and answer that, or maybe chip into that, right? But let me first of all come back to what our panelist, Mr. Wali finally said. Sorry for that. You talked about one thing that caught my attention. You said, in most of these marriage books, they will never tell you, the sour moments. They always put everything flashing, everything good. Because first and foremost, like I said, many people who go about writing books on how to live the perfect marriage go about telling their stories and go about lying sometimes about their lives. Explaining marriage does not entail you telling your story. Never. About Paul, I'm talking about this time for Christians. Muslims might have their perception, but whatever be the case, we are all in accord that marriage is a divine institution. It's an institution placed by God. Whatever you call the God, you understand? It's something that God initiated. It's God who joined man, the first human beings in the creation. You understand? So it means that if God had designed marriage, he has a purpose for it. What I'm saying is that in the beginning, because courtship has to lead to marriage. It has to lead or not to marriage. You understand? But if it leads to marriage, because you guys, the content of courtship is about knowing each and every, both of you, in preparation for a better, in preparation of sealing the covenant, so that you guys can now live together and fulfill your destiny. But now the question is, what are you to fulfill? Is it just normal, human, like living together, having children, and then, what are you going to teach them? What are the foundations you're going to give them? Not only psychologically, but also spiritually. So that conversation, and I'll get to that. So I was just trying to say that not every book, I'll maybe recommend you go and get I Do to learn about courtship, marriage, and family life. But now, talking about the things that are necessary, the conversation, the conversation we're supposed to have during courtship. Besides, even if you're in church, even if your kids are in church, they can have courtship. They can invite each and every one in their houses and spend time. But the question is, what kind of time are you spending? If you're spending intimacy, sexual, romantic intimacy, that's when it is not good. Why? Because let's say it and let's be clear. Sex doesn't only have the physical power that we think. It has a psychological and a spiritual power. It is, married people will tell you that when they have problems that they can't put their egos down, the moment they make love, everybody comes down to earth. It starts back. It has that possibility to make you compromise, to make you say, okay, I'm right, but I choose to be wrong. But if you do that, you bond in such a way with somebody who is not even having a like mind with you, just because of a romantic appetite and your emotional appetite, which comes from time to time, and you bond with the wrong person, he's going to have dominion over you. Because whether you like it or not, marriage is all about dominion. One person dominates the other. But now the question is, when you begin to understand that you have to get along as a couple, you don't fight to dominate one another. You fight to submit mutually to one another in authority of equal, on equal terms, even though there is distinction in union, respect for one another. So I think the conversation we should be having during courtship, first, like you said, financial independence is very key. Because even when you look at it for those who are Christians, when God created Adam, before creating woman out of his side, he gave Adam already an assignment and a responsibility. Adam named all creation. The human being, it was a human being who named all creation in the world according to the Christian Bible. It means he already had an assignment. He was working. It's not because he was not paid the salary. He was working as a son that he was. You understand? Then now he said that they asked him, do you see a companion? He said, this one doesn't look like me. So they had to create a companion, meaning that he was already having an assignment. Work is very important, and assignment is very important for both the man and the woman, because in as much as you love yourselves, there are responsibilities that will come. Being a parent comes with responsibilities.
Right.
God has given you that possibility to be able to cater for them, because a man, listen to one of the descriptions of the man. You are the provider.
Yes.
You are the protector of your woman. How will you provide and protect if you are not working? In our context today, will you think manna will fall from heaven? And the woman as well is the helper, is also the associate. She has to give in a hand. If you have a woman who is not in that mindset, that young girl, that I don't want to help this man, anything, my name is gimme. You know, my name is gimme, my name is gimme, like Joe Donné. It's not going to work.
So everybody has a role to play.
Sure,
now,
absolutely.
when you get married, now,
we must have those conversations. Let's just go like recap. Let's go. In financial independence, right? First of all, you guys will agree more on your faith, because there's something called division. Division is two distinct visions. What I like you to know, the spiritual aspect will intervene in your life. So what do you both think about spirituality, and how are you guys going to bring up your children? Because the moment difficulties set in the house, what brings you guys together is that you guys agree on one point. And if you have reasoning from two different sources, forget it. You guys will have rivalry in the house until you guys will divorce.
That's true.
So there are many other things that come with it.
Now, still at this pre-wedding stage, before you get married, for the benefit and the pleasure of all the ladies who are watching the show, when does a man feel he's ready to propose to a lady? Is it when he finds the one, the right lady, or is it when he feels that he's financially stable and ready to start his own family? Let me start with you, Wale. You who's been married for many years. When you proposed to your wife, was it because you felt, I have met this the one I should get married, or was it when you felt you were financially stable and ready to start your own family?
Yeah, I think let me just be sincere, like I would expect every other person to be sincere in advising people, because this is like advice to the public. In actual sense, I met my wife. We were both working in the bank. We are both working in the bank, but there are some tests that I carried out. For me, I can give my all, but I'm looking for somebody who can give me a little. I know that this program is it's always uploaded on YouTube. She can watch. When I met her, I told her, so we just chat and I left. After a while, there wasn't GSM, and we just spoke via this landline. I said, quite some time. I said, sorry, I am broke. I'm preparing for my exams. That's what I told her. The next thing, she has access to my account, the bank being interlinked. She sent money to me when I said, I am broke. Then, when she sent money to me, I put part of that money, God bless International Card, that's the name of the company. I bought a romantic card, put it in an envelope, send it via the company's mail to go and give it to her. And that got me thinking, because in most cases, for a lady, you should just bring. It wants to, even if she did not ask you where you are working, like Tina is rightly saying, she wants to see that you must show color. You understand?
That's right.
Then, having seen that, I felt, okay, it's like this lady is displaying a wife material. See, men will engage, and men knows who to engage, and men know who not to engage. A lady who is, let's see, let's get the show lively. Want to follow me to my girlfriend? I am thinking I'm likely to engage. And then the next thing is, let's go to Opium. Okay, no problem. Let's go and dance. We get to Opium, you start ordering for what probably my shoes are likely to be removed at the end of the show. And then before you say Jack, you order for shisha. You're smoking shisha. You're doing everything. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We enjoy and rock with you. When it's time to see who will be the mother of my children, we'll know what corner to go.
Because her attitude has revealed her revealed her real intentions. And she shows that she's not the one who can sacrifice for the whole, or for her husband, or protect her husband, because love protects.
All right.
But if the husband also is a smoker, He's going to just like compatible.
No, so
the two of them, they can just actually two smokers. When they join,
yes, that is very good.
So,
let me get in here.
They give out the chimney.
Yes. You know, those are one of the aspects that must be discussed during courtship before you guys get to that point of committing yourself tangibly or in front of the civil authorities and anything. You guys have to also discuss your addictions. Very important. There should be transparency and openness between the partners. That's all what builds to the moment where you say, okay, let's get engaged.
Yes.
Okay.
Because engagement is a process. There is nothing, first of all, I'll tell you guys straight up, there is no question that is answered by yes or no in relationship. Just say, yes, I'll get engaged now. No, it's a process. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. There is finding entails searching. You must investigate and know and choose. While the woman must prepare so that God introduces a husband to her, even though the husband is going to come find you. The thing is that during courtship, when you met that girl, you understand, you guys begin to learn to know each other. You talked about something which is very important. It's about the woman who is conscious of her role beside her man. A woman who is conscious of her role beside her man knows that she's a helper. She will manifest in any circumstance like that woman who can understand. When she sees that you're getting into trouble, she wants to bring you off that trouble, because if you get into trouble, she gets into trouble. Her heart follows you, and then she'll be worried. So she would always make sure you don't spend beyond your capacity. She would not want to extort you. You understand? She don't want to traumatize you and take you to places you can never afford. She would be ready to build with you, so that even if she has that ambition, she'll be clear with you and open to you. Because openness and transparency is very important. That, baby, this is the kind of life I want to live. But now that we are at this level, we need to work it out. And there's something, a woman would reveal herself as that person who is an enabler, who would help you attain your God-given destiny and even make you progress. When a woman, especially men, first of all, when a man sees a woman that he thinks he should settle with, it's not necessarily the woman that you love at first sight. The woman you should settle with, he begins to know, because he realizes that her attitude is the one that protects him, that enables him to grow, that makes him stable. A man searches for stability. A woman is more about she's spontaneous, it's spontaneity and security. You need to reassure her all the time, but she's very spontaneous. That's why she's good at prickling and wanting things to happen really fast. A man, the moment he's comfortable here, he can stay here for 100 years. So that's why women too are very important with your attitude. Not that go and get married. Your attitude, your way you get him. He's going to say, but this woman beside me, I've never noticed this woman. No, this woman at the ring at this. Then there's also one aspect that you have to talk about. And you have to consider respect. Men love respect more than they love sex.
All right.
They would require from a woman respect more than they require sex from the woman, because if he's not even respected and that he's not in a good sense of mind.
Steve, sorry, it's like we are marginalizing this woman, but just give me a minute. Let me tell you one thing. One thing I've discovered in my I can now say in my years of marriage is that respect is not demanded.
Of course.
Respect is earned. Most men want respect, but they are not doing things that begats respect. For instance, a man who is not let me just use my typical example. By the time I'm telling you that, so that I'm your husband, I'm your husband, it's an indication that he is a failed husband. He's just using boniface to assert. By the time you are telling your son, I'm your dad, if you are playing fatherly role, respect will come automatically.
That's right.
If you are playing husband's role, respect will come automatically. We should put it so clear on this show that you don't need to bully your wife for respect.
I agree on that, because
you don't need to bully anybody in your family for respect.
The way they are built by God, you understand, they always demand, they have this authoritative part of them, and they always demand, especially on their ego and everything. That's why I said men, what they ask require most at times is respect. But now, like you said, respect is earned. And what we didn't say is that the woman as well has demands. The woman they needs to be secured. You need to be able to provide for her. If a woman is with you and she realizes that you're that kind of person who will never let her down, who will never let her lack, That's a straight demonstration of her love, of your love towards her. It keeps her in a secure post, and she respects you. Love is what brings the respect.
Yeah, the Bible says the man should the woman should love the husband, and the man should love his wife, and the wife should respect her husband and submit to her husband.
And even says that the man should love his wife. The man should love his wife and honor his wife.
Exactly.
Steve,
now,
there's a particular Bible passage that I was thinking she's going to quote.
Okay.
It said, a man, all women knows that, you don't know it. A man, join me, a man who cannot provide for his
it's
home.
worse than an unbeliever.
It's worse than an infidel, and that he has denied the faith.
Right, that's true. Now,
all women know that one.
From what I've gathered so far, a man feels he's ready when he meets the right woman who displays the right qualities and who knows her role. Now, for a woman, Tina, how would you know that you're okay to say yes to a man's proposal? What are the things that tell you that if this man proposes, I'll say yes? Because it's not to every man that a woman would say yes to. So for you, what are those things that will tell you, okay, this is the man I should say yes to?
The first thing is the way the man behaves,
the
way he talks to people, because there are people, they don't know how to talk to you. Maybe you just like, you can touch him like this, only the way you turn and stare. Hey, my God. So the behavior, the way, the feelings.
Okay.
For me, the feelings, because I have the way I feel my things. So then second point, it's not like I can see ask for what he's doing, but I'm not really searching for money. I just want to know if he's not a thief.
Okay.
You know, I have to know his family if possible.
It's very important.
Yes, I have to know his family.
History, life.
Yes, I have to know his family. Then the man must not be this kind man that is harsh. The man doesn't know how to talk to me, even if nobody is perfect. Yes, you can mistakenly maybe and the way he tried to approach you, he cannot just like shouting. There are people, when you are shouting, they become stubborn. They don't even, they just like, you shout 10 times.
Okay.
But there are people, when they just like make a mistake, especially women, if you talk, you just like, baby, what is this? See? She will just answer, baby, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And that's how the house is going to go smoothly. So that is the kind of thing I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yes, before saying yes.
Now, let's talk about the engagement proper. Say the man is going to propose to you.
Yeah.
Now, as a woman, how do you see it? Should it be a quiet event, just you and him, or would you like something in public where, the engagement proper? How do you see it from your standpoint, Tina?
No, it depends. If the guy is a money guy, he can do it anyhow, even in the airport, somewhere that people will see. But if the guy is no-name guy, let's do it in our small room.
Okay.
Just, you see, for me, because you need money, you must, the fingers, they are not the same.
That's right.
So this finger must not try to do what this one is trying to do.
Right.
So you do it for your small level. If you want to share your one export with my friends and engage, just go ahead.
All right.
If you want to carry me inside the plane before you do it, you guys, so it just
go with your means.
Yes.
Okay.
It depends.
All right. Now, Wale, I'm so interested. How yours happened. Take us back. Take us back.
See, Steve has spoken. You are not respecting Steve because you think he just got.
No.
Sorry. See, let me tell you one thing.
Certainly not.
He mentioned something that 50 years ago and things are happening.
Okay.
Engagement is not it's not African.
Yeah.
I will tell you, engagement is not African. And those people that we are copying, go and Google. The rate of divorce in Europe and America is excruciatingly alarming.
Yeah.
A white guy sees you today, he is ready to roll from Aqua to Deido to tell the whole world that I haven't seen an angel before. I'm seeing an angel in her. 2 weeks down the line, he comes and says, sorry. He's coming to address World Press Conference. Sorry, I made a mistake.
He has seen another angel.
I made a mistake. I just said I love her. I discovered this. I discovered that. I don't want to lose my life. End of the story. Engagement is not African. Just let us believe it.
Right.
Just that we are copying it and we think it's right.
Okay.
Like somebody was, you see, in most cases, that engagement and the feeling and the wish of many people will not even make them to be engaged.
Now, but Wale, if it's important to your lady, it might not be an African thing.
See,
if it's important to your lady, wouldn't you want to make it special for her?
Let me use myself as a personal thing. My wife loves a situation where when trekking on the road, you hold hands. And I told her, sorry.
So romantic.
Very romantic.
I told her right away, I won't do this. See, let me tell you one thing. What you will not sustain, don't start.
And that's what actually happens.
What you will not sustain or what you cannot sustain, don't start.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it amounts to you lying. Oh, because I want her to marry me. Then immediately after marriage, she now wants to hold my hand and say, "Oh boy, I don't pay your bad price." Okay.
Steve, your own experience. I want your own experience.
Yes.
Because you recently got engaged, and Steve is a celebrity. So we saw the videos, they were on blogs, on social media, and I want to know, what happened in the circumstance. How did it, why did it go down?
Well, there are just to come back to what you said real quick. There are gestures that communicate love.
Okay.
But when you are not, like Mr. Wadi said, when you are not ready, when you've not understood it, when you're not persuaded about it, don't start doing it just for doing sake.
Exactly.
Because you get your woman used to, and when you want to stop it, it becomes a problem because you actually made her comfortable in something which you're not really comfortable doing. Openness and sincerity is very important. Now, coming to my experience, I would say it again. I did it, right? And I did it with within the means that I had, at that particular moment, and I still wanted to. I just still kept it a surprise because whatever be the case, it has to be a surprise when you're gifting something to someone. When you want to give someone something that she longs for, she has long dreamed about. You understand? It has to come, that surprise to make you wow, then and all that stuff. But to be very honest, I did it to please her. It is not an obligation. This engage, like I said, I for one don't really consider engagement as something very important, except it comes in a particular context when you can get married right now, and there are many people coming around your woman and everything, and you see that there is an element of there is trust that has to be planted in the ground, and you think that particular gesture or that particular event could reassure the woman. I said the woman needs to be reassured all the time. It is in her nature. So if you think that at that moment that's the one thing you can do to do that, do it. It's important at that moment. You decide what is important for you, what you copy and what you apply. You understand? Yeah. But it's not an obligation. Yeah. Today it has become a trend. People do it without knowing why they're doing it. I would tell every human being, and especially every man, we are all young men who want to be, aspirant husbands tomorrow. A man is supposed to model his wife to an extent. What you do with your wife, the woman is not a weaker sex for nothing. And weaker sex not because she is weak in essence, is that physically she presents weakness because physically a man is stronger than her. But women possess such inner strength that men don't have. But a woman is a weaker sex because she can be modeled. She's more flexible than a man. And, precious things are delicate. Just like gold. Gold takes any form you give it when you put it under heat. You understand? But when it solidifies, what comes out of it is stronger than in such a way that you cannot break it depending on the dosage. So what the man puts in a woman, you will get it 100-fold. So there, at one point you have to model your wife. Women are emotional and they can like many things. A woman will go to a market and buy things that it was not in her leisure because she wants to come and keep that she use someday. When the man goes, he looks at principles. Am I using it now? Yes, no, this, I. So a woman, you should be able to contain her, shape her, refine her. At the same time, she would give you back that beauty. Simple.
Okay.
You understand? So I did it. It was a wonderful moment.
Beautiful.
But, that's not even what I planned. You understand?
Oh, really?
Yes, because I did it in an apartment. That's not where I was supposed to do. I actually had to do it in Launch and Garden, if you know the place.
Of
course. Was a beautiful garden setting, a good like cozy area. I wanted to get a private section just beside the pool so that, you know, I get her friends, because she was supposed to travel back. She was not living here. She lived back then in Dubai. So I thought she was supposed to travel back, and then because we had spent 3 months together. So I wanted to surprise her on the night before she had to travel. You know, I brought her friend from Yaoundé, so she was like, "Oh, sister, you're coming to send off." Like, it's normal. That's what we used to do when she travels. Her best friend comes, and then we all accompany her to the airport and everything and so on. So she thought it was just a routine thing. I got a friend, and I was planning with her friend. What does she want? We chose the ring together and stuff like that. I ordered for the ring. It came to Cameroon and everything. I loved it. I took about 3 months to check out the ring. Then I asked my friend Eva, like, what do I do? How do I do these things? Me, I need to be my way. She was like, let's go and get
just my man.
So let's go. I said, if I want to go and pay to this guy, let me just go and give money now. Let's just decorate, but let's have something. I had to bring a saxophonist from Yaoundé.
Wow.
To come and do, because he loves music. And I love music too. And the saxophone is magical. She loves Manu Dibango. And her dad also, I got to know her family, which is a very important thing when you're talking about courtship,
after you are
family, life, you know, history and stuff. Her father is a TV producer.
Nice.
He worked with CRTV, and he is also a journalist.
Oh,
you know,
I'm sure.
And he's a veteran journalist. So I realized, oh wow! So I have somebody I can also look up to now. I have 2 role models. I got my dad. I got him. So I'm coming into a family. I'm coming like a child. I'm coming to learn. And we have passion for music. He's got live band. He has equipment and everything. I was planning to buy my equipment, and so a lot of things about the family will also make you to say, hey, but I think in Africa, whether we like it or not, you're getting married, of course, to your wife. And both of you form a family. But marriage is also 2 families coming together.
Absolutely correct.
So I did it. It was wonderful. She loved it. But that was not the initial plan. We came into the house. She never wanted to go out. The time I booked the place closed. I tried to book like a rooftop area at Bonamusadi. The place had closed. So I finally proposed to her at 1 a.m. She had to go and do her hair. She had not done her hair. She was nervous, so there was nothing I could do. I was like, you know what? Just take her and go. She was like, let's go together so that you can sit there and watch me do my hair and my nails and everything. We're going to eat before we come back. And I was like, you know what? You guys should go now and leave it tired. Let me just rest, right? While you're doing it, then we'll go out together. I had to go buy stuff, and I told her friend. She said, I had to decorate the room for you, but this time around, do it yourself. I went to social media. To internet. I had to blow 100 balloons. My jaws. For 1 hour, 10 minutes. Jesus Christ. My jaws. And then I put the candles, the red roses.
Beautiful. I wish I could show you the images I tried to download, but my phone didn't let me.
That is.
But that was a demonstration of love. She really realized that I did all that just to please her and just to give her a ring. All that cinema.
So please her and please yourself also. Because you people are coming.
Because you're happy when she's happy.
Tina, let me tell you one thing. Try to understand a man for who he is. And I tell men, the way he will display love
will not be the
same.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But how do I display my own love? I always have it at the back of my mind that woe betides me. I'm talking on television. Some people, woe betides me if anybody around me, anybody around me suffers anything. Nobody. How do I show my love? If I have money, I give you. If I have material things, I give you. If you cry my hair and it's genuine, you get it. Those are feeling. Than coming to you every now and then and start whispering, I love you. I love you. When I start whispering, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, those are words of mouth.
No, but the words...
It's important.
It's very important. Our words are commitments and everything.
It's important. You know what Nigerian former warlord said, Odume Gojuku, who was leading the Igbo to the Biafra?
No, what did he say?
He said, it is, even Chinua Achebe wrote it. He said, it is good food that makes me look as I am, not good words. By the time your wife is empty, she's naked, she's coverless, but you keep professing love, at a point in time our brain will reset.
But the truth is, go ahead, sir. Sorry, let me.
So, therefore, as a man, the care for your family. Let me share. I'm on the television. When I got a job, I think my current job, the position appears big and stuff, and I told my wife, you know what? This is my offer letter. So many things are in marriage. Some people will tell you about joint account, about this. I was on this television station, we talk about joint account. I don't do joint account. When I had my offer letter, I gave it to my wife. She read. She's never been a money person. I mean, I think her salary is even almost more than my own. So she checked. And I told her, that's my salary, offer letter, and I kept. But in my conscience and in my right reasoning, I know what to do at every point in time. And one thing I do tell guys is that once your wife could pray for you, once your wife prays for you, forget about it, you will sail.
Okay.
So, but that's it.
All right, okay.
That's it because,
okay, guys, yeah. We'll get a little more into that in the course of the show. But for now, since we're still at the pre-stage, I want to talk about the ring, even though I'm a little doubtful because you guys are not big on engagements and all. Tina, for you, the ring that the man offers you for the engagement, is it important? What it looks like, what it costs, is it important to you?
For me, it's important because it's going to help me to send away the other guys that they are always turning around. And when they see it, they know that I'm engaged.
Okay.
And so many will just like, I should not waste my time again. And when they call me, I say no. I can just put it on my profile, and that's all to send them away.
Yeah. But the quality of the ring, is it important?
The quality.
Of course.
It depends. If the man is the kind billionaire, he can buy me even diamond or gold or whatsoever. If the man is a drug pusher in Bopi, he can just buy something, maybe 5,000, 4,000. Yes, that is it. Yeah. If the man is poor, I cannot say him to buy me something very expensive. No.
Yeah.
Yes. Then I was like, you know, when two people are together, right? At time, there's one person that is so romantic, and the other person is just like, I'm coming back to
Wale.
I know.
Because Mr. Wale was like, when I'm moving, I got married to my wife. When I was moving with her, she will try to grab my hand. She said, no, I don't want to. I was just in my mind. I was just like, you are my husband. I have the right to hold your hand when we are moving. And I think with time, they build those things because maybe I don't like to do something with time. I can convince you to do that. I know the way I convince you.
Let me use myself as an example again. You know, sometimes you act. You don't know the reason why you are even doing some things. Have seen couples who are so close, so very close, that they died a day apart. You know, the wife died and the man felt, what's next? And they turned their children to orphan. When I was young, and I was like, I don't want this. And somehow, I've been in Douala for immigration is there, okay. I've been in Douala for like 4 years now.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The level of trust that I enjoy with my wife did not have part 2. We talk on phone. She's a career person too. She just writes, can we talk? We talk. Assuming we have built, I don't say everybody should do what I do. I'm just saying my own. Assuming we've been, what's it called? Bread and butter. It might be difficult. I may not be able to face my career here. She may not be able to face her career there. At the end of the day, we can end up being poor. Okay. You know, but you know, we have our gap, but we are so far and so near. Right. While on studio, the picture I took a picture, I shared with her. They said, are you on studio? I said yes. You understand? That is it. But some people are living together under the same roof, but their minds are poles apart.
Yeah, of course, I mean, it's possible to marry a woman and then there is no cleaving.
Yeah, sure.
You stay there 10 years to 50 years and there's no cleaving and you cannot know a woman to that point as your wife, if you guys want to stay under the same roof, you know her as a person. Like this person, these are the prerequisites. We can be together. But the experience of marriage is lived inside the marriage. And that's why the one major thing is that when you guys get together, like you get married, you must leave whatever. It could be your own house where you were staying, or our own house, or your parents' house and everything. You have to go to a common territory that you choose, and mark your territory and begin to learn yourself.
Sorry, let me just add it. Let me just add this, please. It did not start in one day. We lived together.
It's an experience.
Then career calls.
Yes, of course.
But then we have a foundation.
I even think that before you guys even got married, you both were working already.
Sure.
Good. And that's something that's very important before you guys get married. At least you should have known what working is all about. Both sides. First of all, it shows that you have that culture of working to provide and be ready. But the thing is that it helps because when job comes, when you guys have no known jobs, there are jobs, because of the jobs callings, that will separate you guys. And it's going to hamper your marriage experience. But when you've already known it, when it comes, you will know the job to send away that will separate you not only from enjoying your marriage as couples, but that would impede on your parenting. Yes, that's just something I wanted to add. But now, you coming back to the question about the ring, you know, she talked about two things. One, you know, the guarantee that the ring brings, and then now the quality of the ring. I think she answered the first one so perfectly. Like, you know, it depends on your means. Don't go beyond your means, or else you're not wise enough, my brother. You know, but just make it beautiful. It must be beautiful. I mean, if you want to offer something,
she's proud to wear it.
If you have to offer something, of course, to your wife to be, and remember that whenever you offer something, it shows how much. It's just a tip of the iceberg, a testimony of how much you value the person. So at least it should be something that is worth it, that you can take time and work and amass a little bit and then give it to her. But now, still don't lose a focus of the purpose. You know. Now, next thing will be that you talked about the guarantee. When you put it there, other men don't come. I've seen cases where it is when you even get engaged and you get married that many men start rushing. In fact,
it is crazy.
Let me be very honest. Me,
crazy.
and I know the same thing for my fiance. As this, we posted just one or two pics. The moment they saw that, she knows, and I've told her. And she asked me, how have they been behaving? I said, I know how they have been behaving towards you already, because I understand the thing. They have been rushing her practically. Let me put in the Nigerian expression. They will rush you. And the question now is not that the ring, you put it there, the ring is not a shield. What is a shield is your decision. And some people begin to look at marriage as a cure for infidelity or for promiscuity. No.
It isn't.
If a man did not know how to bundle himself before marriage, when he gets married, that's not a guarantee that he's going to stop promiscuity. If he stops it, it's because he has chosen to stop it at that moment. It is a choice. It is a choice. And many other things now will align in order to make that happen or not, because if there's distance between the couples in the house emotionally and everything, some person want to go and look for the emotional bond outside.
Of
and all that. So even for the woman, you understand, it is not an issue because now I'm wearing the ring.
Well, being
it's not about me wearing the ring.
Being a woman, one who has been engaged before and who is married, I can tell you, some men do respect it. Some men do respect when they find out you're married. You're like, I'm sorry, I did not know you're married. Even though others, it turns them on. You know, on the contrary, there's this debate that has been going on. I've been seeing a lot on social media nowadays. Should men wear rings? Because they believe some. Well, it's real fact in some cases, a few cases, where a man decides to get engaged to a woman, not because he really wants to marry her, but to pacify her. If she's been pressuring you, you've been dating for long, and the man says, okay, she's been yapping, so much.
I like the way she's been pressuring.
Certificate of longevity.
Longevity. And women should learn how to refuse such things. They should not give you that to just keep you on the waiting trial, or just put you on the bench so that you should stop. You should shut your mouth. You should be able to choose the man too that you want. It's not because a man has to find you that you just accept any man who comes to you.
You should
from the headline. I like your opinion on this.
From the headline of this show, I told you people that engagement doesn't mean much for me.
Okay.
From the headline, right?
Yeah.
Because you see, the guy can still put you the ring, but keep saying that maybe if I'm working, the guy is not working, then we are ready, we have been friends, and we are ready maybe to settle down. One day like that, he put the ring. He keep using me as usual. He can even use me for even 2 years, 3 years. You are just there, je suis fiancée. No. No, for me, but they just like engage, as he was saying, Mr. Wali, that engagement is not in Africa. It's something that white people like, they introduce it to Africa.
They didn't introduce it to us.
Mr.
We
Mr. Wali,
I
think that we copy from the whites. That's
yes,
copying. They
we
didn't
copy
bring it.
from the whites, and that's how they are using people out here. Just see.
But they can't
if
use
you
it without
enter
your
Facebook,
consent.
for example,
No.
the guy,
Let her finish.
Manda, there's a problem with this. I want to put it in the mind. Let me look at the camera now. Which one should I look at that? I want to put it straight to you. Women, stop being the victim sometimes. Let me be very honest. Nobody can use you without your consent. Sure. The problem with women is that most playboys have understood is knowing the sexes, knowing the genders, right? A woman is emotional. A woman likes those things that would always keep our emotions burning. And when you pressure a man, what he's going to do is that he's going to tell you what you want to hear. But the thing is that even when you are engaged, before you get engaged, you guys already talked about the deadlines of how you guys are going to organize things. If it doesn't work that way, you have to come back to the drawing table and say, hey, Mr. Man, what happened? Because I'm seeing that everything is going on properly well, but the corresponding actions are not coming. You know, what is the problem? Talk to me. There should be honesty and transparency. If you begin to see that the person is not saying anything, the man is not saying anything, it means he's hiding things from you. And the moment they start hiding things from people, trust is broken. And engagement is not marriage.
yes.
It is not.
Sure.
That's why we say that it's not really something that's very important, because what we'll say importance here, which has repercussions, is when you get married and you want to divorce. Then you even understand. Tu vas lire même ça à l'envers, because you understand. You will know. You will get sense. You will receive sense of that.
You see, one thing is this. One of the things that is killing us is the social media. I was watching one skit 2 days ago. The guy is called Fake Life. The guy was snapping picture with other people's car and all this stuff, and everybody believes that he has hammered. People want
Audio money.
Everybody wants superlative. What's it called?
The star life.
Engagement.
Yeah.
I can engage you. Is it not because I want to see your panties? I will engage you. And after the engagement, then what will you do?
And that's why they will do engagements multiple times, because it is not really something serious.
Even today,
If I tell you,
you go to maybe Messenger, for example, maybe you have friends on Facebook, right? Someone just like takes you message, hello Tina, I say hi, then you see the next thing is ring. There are more than 10,000. You see, if the person is just beside you, like 2, 3 days later, you see the guy will just come with the ring. That's how he's trying to use you. He doesn't even know.
Sometimes the women too, like I said, these women. See, let me tell you, a man cannot have you if you don't want him.
Yeah. That's right.
Women, you have to put it on your mind. A man cannot have you if you don't have it. Because women today, it depends on what you have on your mind. What is your perception of life? What do you like? Sometimes women like vanity, because, and that's how they take them, they dupe them. Because they'll come and just bring a nice diamond ring, very expensive. Oh, this man loves me. Please,
sorry.
It might just be hit.
Sorry. Let me just give you one sad story about the Facebook.
What are your principles?
Engagement. There's a particular woman, the story, the news is trending now. She's 55. She's mother of 5, but a widow. She now had a Facebook friend, 38-year-old guy. That guy lured her to the house, a 55-year-old woman. The guy lured her, and 3 siblings killed the woman. Dumped her body in the septic tank, took her car to a mechanic to change.
Oh my God.
Now, picked her phone after killing her, picked her phone and start tormenting the family that she is kidnapped, they should bring 5 million. But it took the police some time before they were apprehended.
But that's too bad.
But very, very horrendous. The question is this: you meet somebody on Facebook. At 55, you grind your feet to go and meet the person.
Without finding out who the person is.
You find out who the person is. You know, a lot of a lot of women are looking for the cover that is not even existing. A lot of women. I have a daughter, and I'm telling my daughter, you need to be strong for yourself. I've asked my daughter one question. I said, in your school, both male and female, they are trained in the same class. So why should you have it at the back of your mind that your male classmate should be richer than you are? The world is open.
So basically,
I think
women should not make themselves targets. I think that's what we're trying to say.
That's it.
Because Steve was trying to say something. I wanted to just make sure I put on, like Steve was saying that there are girls that they are just happy when they have their ring, gold.
Actually, they have
they don't even care about the
targets.
There are two types of love: material and real love.
Material is involved in every love.
See.
No, but there are people that
let her finish.
No, there's no love without material. Sure. But there are people that they aim only that material. They don't care whether you are.
They are so materialistic to a fault. Because love is immaterial.
So at the end, when you offer something, she doesn't care whether you love her or not.
Engaged. Okay.
Then so just.
So they actually love for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Right?
Steve, I have a question. What happens if you propose to the lady you've been dating? That's not your situation. You're engaged.
Yes.
But assume that you proposed to a lady and she said no. What would you do?
First and foremost, I think is wrong timing. Before you propose to a woman, you a man know that woman. You a man know that woman would accept.
Or not.
Why? Because you before proposing to a woman, before proposing to your girlfriend, you guys know that's her desire. But now it depends on how you do it, because you might be proposing to your girlfriend or to your lover when she doesn't like public display, and people start influencing her around. Like, say yes, and she'll say no. Because probably she's a woman who has told you that I would like, and I for one, I wanted to do that, and I did it, and I spoke with my wife. I don't want people, especially when it comes to proposing to my wife, and she's that kind of person, that my fiancé. If you are not the person who I'm a showman, I can do a show, but when it comes to pertinent issues that concern my intimacy, it's between me and the person concerned, no third party. I don't want to consult you guys. If I have to consult you guys, I'm doing it before. But the moment we have to sit and talk, it should be because I'm asking you out. I'm asking you to marry me. So you are the one to answer me without anybody influencing you positively or negatively. But now, some people, it's how you do it, and that's why they get rejected. Sometimes it's the wrong timing. She might not be prepared, and you want to precipitate things. You get a no. Mid-time, had it been you had waited for the right moment, you wouldn't have had a no. But sometimes it's just that when you even propose, that's where many people like engagements. When you propose to someone who's been acting out, when he sees the responsibility that comes with engagement, the person would rather deny you than get into it. Then it was going to expose some people's true motives. Now, to answer that question, if I get a no, what will you do? You cannot force love.
So what happens at that point? What happens at that point for you? What would happen at that point? Is it the end of the relationship?
You will simply manifest shame the way you can manifest it.
What do you mean the end of the relationship? That's it, or you're going to work on it?
No, but when she says no, the relationship is ended. Except she gives me a reason. Because if she says, "Will you marry me?" No, it means that I'm not ready to go with you from here to next point. What are you trying to understand again?
So you agree, Wale?
What a minute. I think we've rolled for
except you know that she said no for a right reason, you would still go back and start.
What if she just needs time to think about it, to be sure that this is where she wants to go?
But then, like Steve rightly said, we have rolled, even if for 2 months, you must have had enough conviction.
And even indirectly convinced about it.
What I desire, she wants. Of course. But if there's some people, what I desire, she did not really agree. But
you were just forcing.
But then, if I can use engagement or to
make her change.
To make her change.
Unfortunately,
and if you meet a lady who is independent, who cannot be coerced, You come with your engagement ring, we go with your engagement ring.
Sorry.
The moment the person is not ready, whether poor or rich, the moment your mind is not ready to accept and that you stand to on your principles, you will not accept it.
Okay.
Some people accept because of condition. They look at the person like, you know what, my family is this, these are the advantages I have from this person.
Yeah.
But someone said, you can give without loving, but you cannot love without giving. You don't need to engage a woman to give.
But don't forget also that they are pretenders. They are pretenders.
Of course, that's why that's why the woman has to test on several aspects, not just saying that, okay, I'll take this one. You have to test the man, and there are very basic things like we're talking about. You have to test the man and see whether he's ready for you guys to go, and later on, you guys agree.
That's why.
All right, Tina, you wanted to say something? Just quickly, Tina, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I was just like, there are girls that they can just like proving you everything is all right, but deeply in her mind,
they're pretending.
She's just trying to use Steve, and the day that you propose, you'll be surprised to hear no.
Then that'll be good. That's exposed her true intentions. And what can you do in front of rejection? You just go,
But you continue the relationship.
What relationship? No, not. But you don't put myself in a prison.
But that's very good. You see, this song, the Gambler.
Yes.
You see, you should know when to stop.
Yes.
You should know when to take a shave. You should know when to take a bow. You should know when to.
Because if you continue, things might get messy.
Okay,
You
right.
might play with the girl, and then afterwards, she doesn't get the same.
This is really interesting. We don't have so much time, and I have a couple of questions I'd love for us to quickly run through.
Okay.
First one is, Wally, let me start with you. What do you think about a woman proposing to a man? So they've been dating 2-3 years, and she's like, okay, we should be getting somewhere, but we're not getting there, and she decides to take, the step and says, okay, I'm going to propose to my man. What's your opinion on that?
See, for me, there is nothing wrong in that. Just that the way we look at things in Africa, that if a woman sees a man that is appealing, why not call the man? For me, it's so sad that if a woman should take such a bold step towards me, I'll become weakened. Because I believe that I should respect her ego. For a woman to come to you, she has buried so many pride. At that point, don't let her commit suicide. Especially if it's a woman that you have been with for a while and you know. Let me use myself as example. Yes, when I saw my wife, I love her. I said, oh, I'm going to marry her. But when it comes to the marriage setting, I don't know, maybe my job or something. Yes, I want the marriage. We've gone to the family. But when it comes to the basic preparations, I got so tired. Not that I didn't want to get married. It was like, it was my wife that worked everything out. The only thing I care for about my wedding was my suit and clothes. But every other thing. But
natural.
all the this is how our wedding pamphlet
gonna look like,
this
and all
has
that
been to
organization.
all those ones, no bother.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Quickly, Steve. The same question. What's your take on women proposing?
I don't think it's important or necessary. Let me tell you why. Be it traditionally or looking at the Christian concept of wedding or of a marriage, a man chooses his wife. You find your wife, and then the wife now would give her a accord whether she wants to be with you. You guys must love yourself. You guys must have all those things. So the thing is that a man should choose his wife. A man should make the first, should
make the first step.
Should propose. But now the thing is that because if you engage a woman, later on you ask her in marriage. If the woman engages you, she's going to ask you out for marriage. She's going to marry you. No. Let me just get to my. What I'm saying is that
when anybody engages, the question is, will you marry me?
Good. So the thing is that it makes no sense, and the fact is that men are hunters. You understand? Naturally, when a man is a hunter, and women can, when a man sees what he wants, he goes for it. Women might also have that instinct, like, I like this person. You understand? But most of the times, it's not because I like this person that she wants to be with that person. But when a man, because she's emotional, she can feel, depending on the emotion of the moment and everything, but there are many things that keep her, which comes with security and all what we talked about, and your perception and your temperament and everything. But now, the thing is, a woman who's asking a man out, I don't think any human being
Not sort of.
Oh, so who is proposing?
Yeah,
Engaging a man.
Yeah,
You must have been together.
Engaging.
You must have been together.
Even if it were to be my fiance, like my fiance now, right, or my wife to be, and she comes and tells me, okay, will you marry me and everything? For me, it's awkward.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
It's awkward.
That's
because
your
I'm the one to I'm the one to choose my wife.
Right.
We get married, but I choose my wife.
Okay.
And she should make sure that I choose her because, and that's the thing. We must be ready. When a woman comes up to you and does it, you said here in a relationship, who is more likely to want marriage? Who's more likely to push things? A woman. And sometimes she doesn't care about certain details which might slip off her control, and then it becomes something that backfires. So the man who is the most patient and skeptical, I beg your pardon, should be the one to propose, because before he proposes...
But the woman too has a right to choose. She too must make a choice.
I'm saying that
it's not because the man proposes that automatically
when the man is proposing, right?
Steve,
will you marry me?
Let me take
if you say no,
sorry, let me take you on your word here.
Of course.
Let me take you on your word here.
We really don't have time.
See,
I would love us, but we don't have time, unfortunately.
That looking at COVID and all the circumstances around,
yes,
and your wife needs your fiancé needs some level of comfort. You decide to, okay, let's engage at least to put a barrier at least barrier feels secured. The girl sees you, fine boy. All ladies, they rush you. And the girl felt, okay, if you not propose to me, there's this Kenyan comedian that did that. Come, if you not take
you must marry me.
Take this ring, engage me.
The moment you say you must, nobody deserves to be in a relationship out of pity.
Wait a minute,
out of pity, because if someone pities you, you understand, you have the worst experience in your life.
A lady is with you.
Yes.
1 year, 2 years, 3 years.
The number of years do not really matter.
They don't?
They don't.
Okay. For me, come over for another day.
For me, I believe that if the lady is the first person to propose, that means she's
She loves
ready
you,
to.
she wants you, yeah?
She's ready to use the man. Maybe the guy is having something more important that she's actually ready. Because if that guy is rich, he will be proud and he will never allow the lady to say.
But there are rich guys who have been dating for 10 years and they've not proposed. And then another girl after 6 months.
They are not ready to settle down.
Okay.
Then you, the lady, you force him to do that. Maybe he can just like, a pity, but I love her small.
This is a mistake.
I would love for us to pursue this subject. But before we go, we only have like 3 minutes. Before we go, really quickly, Wale, how long do you think an engagement should last? Is it 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years? How long? Or should you start planning your wedding the minute you get engaged?
There are individual differences.
Okay.
The managing director of Access Bank said something. He said, when he saw his wife, he said, I'm going to marry you. Yeah. And then the engagement starts immediately. So there is no timetable.
Okay. All right. Tina?
For me, the same. If you people are in the same country, then it can just be like quick. If the guy is in Europe, maybe he's going to take a time before arriving in Cameroon. That's where it can go to 6 months or 1 year. Okay. Yes, but more than 1 year.
That's the maximum.
1 year is, yes, the maximum time.
Okay, so what if a man engages a woman, but he's just trying to save up to the wedding? It's a problem for
Still
you?
Trying to
save up money, like for the wedding, and you know.
Of course, he must engage before he saves more money, because when you are not engaged, you are working the money. Maybe you lie in a club, you always like. But when you engage, you know that no, this is the responsibility.
Can we do part 2 of this show? There's still so much. There's still so much to say.
The law about marriage is so clear. It's only if you want to put a yoke on your neck. I've seen a wedding where they spend less than 10,000 naira. What is the law? Sorry, I don't know the law in Cameroon, but law in Nigeria says for us to contract wedding, yourself, the bride, the groom, your friend, the friend of your proposed husband,
the witnesses, that is
a representative of the wife's family, a representative of the male family, making 6 people. If the 6 of you match yourself to the registry, you are married.
Okay. Now, Steve, let me get your own opinion quickly. I think we're going to do part 2 of this show. There's still so much to talk about. Quickly, how long do you think an engagement should last before the wedding?
It depends on the 2 people involved first. That is before they get engaged. It depends on how much they've studied each other and arrived at the conclusion that, you know what, we're ready to take the next step forward, go to that point of getting engaged. Once you get engaged and secure and secure one another that, okay, we're getting married, it all depends on how, on most especially after engagement now, it all depends on finances.
Yeah.
Because there, it means you guys have said, okay, we are ready. I mean, in terms of perception about parenthood, about religion, about everything is bon. You understand? Now we engage to prove that. Now it's just the planning phase, the money, the shikam, the cash, the cap, the the mullah.
Yeah.
Because now you have to start saying, okay, how do we prepare the wedding? Start organizing a wedding, organize this, that, my suit and everything.
Yeah.
But now
and don't borrow money.
Yeah, but
Don't borrow.
That's another topic for another day.
Absolutely.
Don't finish organizing your wedding and then be in debt for years. That's
Right.
Organize your wedding ceremony with the money that you can, and then you must make sure you have a leftover to take care now your life, to take care of your life experience. So at the end of the day, now what happens when you're already engaged is that it depends on the money, so you can organize the wedding.
All right. Thank you all so much for your participation. It's been an amazing show. I've loved every minute of it. Before we go, Wale, thank you very much. It's always good to have you. And for those of you who would love to get in contact with Wale to talk, they can find you on Facebook, Wale.
Yes, I'm on Facebook.
And there are many things people can learn from you.
I think so.
Now, Tina, I told you earlier, she's the CEO of Tina Shopping Style. She deals with products on fitness and well-being, and people can come buy from you, Tina.
Of course, we are just opposite Las Vegas, Sable Bonamustadi.
Okay.
So all of you out there, maybe you need to lose some kg and you just want to look good, you want to feel fit balanced diet, then you can just contact Tina's Shopping or Tina's Produit via Facebook.
Yeah, feel free to do that and get in touch with her. And Steve, Steve is a celebrity. You can chat with him on social media.
I like presenting myself as a radio and TV host, master of ceremony, sports reporter, content producer,
and showman.
I'm an all-round entertainer.
Absolutely. Hook up with Steve. Follow him on Facebook, okay, and continue the conversation.
Instagram, Christian Steve 3.
Right, Christian Steve 3. So go follow him and continue the conversation. Thank you guys so much. It's been amazing, and thank you too for watching. Have a great weekend. Take care. Wash your hands. Wear your face mask. Stay safe. It's important. Bye bye.
Bye bye.